Well, Doug's not here. Doug will not be here tonight. Okay, so it is 6 o'clock, and I'm gonna call the meeting to order. And I'm gonna do roll call. Alan,
Here.
Dave,
Here.
and Beth. So we have a quorum. Courtney is going to be here. Any public, I'm going to introduce Gail Hall and Stacy Cole.
Mm-hmm.
They were the write-ins.
I'm all right.
Thank you for doing that.
And we're still waiting on Alan.
Hey, there's still time for us to back out.
All right, did everybody receive the bills that I sent you and took a look at them?
I did.
Oh, here comes Courtney, so we'll put a pause on for a minute.
Can I ask last names? Is that Alan Maves,
Thank you.
Dave Mextroth,
Okay, we called the
Mextroth,
meeting to order.
I'm done.
okay,
You're good.
and Courtney.
Don't make
Courtney,
me,
quick.
don't make me yell at you.
Oh, he's done? Alan's done?
Courtney, are you here?
Dave
Yes,
is
here.
gonna be done, and so
Okay,
is Courtney.
any public comment, which would be you two? Do you have any comments? No? Okay, did everybody look at the bills that I sent you through the email? Courtney, these have been added to the bills if you wanna take a quick look. And then I would need a motion to pay the bills.
Motion to approve the bills?
That would be Dave.
Second.
Second is Alan. All in favor?
Aye.
Passed. Okay, Doug is not here to do any updates. You got the minutes? I did a quick scenario of the minutes, if you guys can take a look at that, and if somebody wants to make a motion to approve it.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second. Sorry. I know, I see you staring at me.
Okay, we have no update on the travel baseball. I spoke to Moran, and I told him we were gonna start this after the new board took over. No offense.
I'm taken.
No, none at all.
Any other old business anybody wanted to talk about? That's not on the
Can
agenda?
you just explain those two? I know the last one, what's the number 7? Or do you wanna wait until next time?
No, I can explain her. It's, Bo has a gentleman that wants to be a base on our baseball field.
Oh, he wants it to be this home
His
field?
home field.
It's
But-
for the Patriots.
The
'Cause
Patriots.
They're building that new indoor facility.
Oh,
over
I
by
heard about
Views.
that, yeah.
Yeah, so currently they have, their field is in Charlevoix. So Bo is trying to get them to have their home field here. So that's in the process. That building should be done and ready to go by winter time this year. So they have multiple like age groups starting at U8. I think they go up to 16 or 18, girls and boys.
I was gonna say boys and girls.
Yep. So that's, and I know that we've talked about it a lot, but there's a lot of different contracting stuff that's going to have to be figured out with that because Little League and the school all use that field.
Right.
So, there's a lot of consideration to take into account when putting that contract together. And I did tell Beth that, between Bo and I, we would both be available to help with those as you guys put that contract together. So
I'm pretty versed on all that travel ball stuff too. My daughter used to do all that, and I was part of a big organization.
right,
in
and
Pittsburgh,
I
so-
was up until like a
Yeah.
month ago, I was the president of the Little League. So,
Oh, okay, yeah.
just being able to know
Yeah.
what the needs are of
What-
a Little
right.
League is,
Right.
just making sure that we're taking care of the
Can
kids in our
can I ask a
community.
question? Does each year, is it kind of status quo, or does it change every year for Little League?
What do you, as far as
Like the dates, the time, I mean,
The requirements of fields, how many?
Yeah.
we typically are on those fields Monday through Friday.
But there's a scheduling process, isn't
There
there?
is a scheduling process. So the high school has first dibs of the fields. and then we have second dibs of the field. So if there's a home game, you have to, those fields are pretty much wiped out. Field 4, which is the one that's all the way in the back, that is the varsity baseball field. We typically don't use it as a little league organization because it's too big for us.
Okay.
And we only have one team. Our juniors are the only ones that can play on that team or on that field. So we don't typically use that field.
Okay.
So when you look at scheduling purposes, high school goes first, then we go. So I'm always in conversation with Lee in regards to scheduling.
Okay.
What their schedule, when they're practicing, what fields they're using, when
It's
their
going to come
games
into
are.
play when you deal with this because in my mind it should stay that same pecking order: high school, little league, then
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 travel.
travel.
Right,
travel, yeah.
absolutely.
And
yeah.
high
should probably
school
be charged
pays more.
accordingly.
High school pays more than we do. And then but again, this is a travel ball organization. It's not yes, I know that they might be a non-for-profit, but we are, in my eyes, I see us.
They're non-for-profit.
Yes, I think we looked it up.
travel
the last
ball?
time. Didn't we look that up the last time?
They are a nonprofit, yes.
Is
I
that
would
a
think they are.
501c3?
this particular
They
one.
Okay,
are.
usually
I think
I've
there are
never
some that
heard
are.
of them have them. Yeah.
Yeah.
This particular one is a nonprofit.
Yeah. But my heart lies that we're servicing the kids of our community.
Exactly.
So, and we are a feeder for our baseball program. So
Right.
that's
Which this is. I mean, and I'm not gonna get into all this one way or another, but travel ball also takes care of your kids that are in the community as well. Because if you're
But I'm
if
thinking
you're
as
using a
Tuscarora
thing.
Township itself.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
yeah.
So
But I'm just saying, I mean, you're still the kids are still, if they're doing travel ball, then they're from these communities or these areas too. To a
Usually
point.
the seasons are pretty distinct enough. It
and I
won't
think
be
Bo
as
has
We used
had
to
a
play
conversation
all of
with
them, yeah,
I think
Little
Bo's
League
had a
and-
conversation with them in regards to, weekend utilization,
Yeah.
things like that. So,
Oh,
but that's
interesting.
just,
Okay.
where we are with that.
Yeah,
and
thank
what's
you.
been on the table for that. So,
You good?
Yeah, thanks.
Moran Ironworks, I already said we're gonna hold off on that till we start all over. New business, I sent a letter to Samantha Davis from the DNR to see if she can help us come here, look at what we want for a grant. But she's been off on a medical. She'll return the 22nd of November. So if I don't hear from her by the end of November, I will submit it to somebody else to see if they can come out and help us. This number 2 doesn't. Would like to in our next meeting. This doesn't apply to you guys because you'll be off, which I'm sad. At our next meeting, we have the meeting first, and then we go right into a workshop. And I need to know if Tuesday still works for you guys, or if we should come up with another day.
Is it the first Tuesday?
Yes.
Then no, that doesn't work for Andrew or I.
No.
We're going to Florida for Thanksgiving, and we are not coming back until the 3rd.
Okay.
December.
You mean in general?
In I
meant our next one. In general, yes,
Okay.
that's fine. Our next meeting, no.
Okay, our next meeting is would,
Be December 3rd.
and you will not be here.
No.
When will
You see
you
me
be
over-
home?
you don't
That
wanna
night,
see
that
my
day.
calendar
Okay,
right now.
could
That
we
night.
could we do the 4th or the 5th or the 6th?
Anything works for me except for that day. We'll be back after that.
Pat?
I live for this.
Okay.
I can do
All right.
either one of them.
You can do all 3 of
December
those days?
1st, 5th.
The only thing you need to check is
the
if any of the
township
other
calendar.
Right,
committees
right.
have-
I'll check the calendar, but I'll do
Yeah.
that later because I don't want to hold everybody up. And we can always do it over here depending on what night. So, all right. So change December's meeting.
But other than that, typically, yes, that works. Right now. My grandson's playing basketball, and I don't have that schedule yet for JV, but I think they typically play on Tuesdays.
Okay. Also, I received
It's
an
on the website.
email from Bob Kramer in regards to this Linda Moore I don't know.
What is that all about?
I'm gonna guess
I
it
should have
has something to
printed
do
it,
with
and I did
people
not.
impeding on
Oh, I
her
put it in
property.
The park.
The park, yeah,
Over there?
probably.
She has concerns about the benches are gone at the park, which is winter. It's technically it should be a little colder and be a little, so they're just stored right now. So that's but we're gonna get with her and what else?
She's concerned that the benches are gone.
Yeah, the bench
Oh, okay.
and it's very, and then the other thing was thank you.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, we are concerned about the Marina Park boat dockage area. I'm sure you know, as it has been approached before, there are some deed restrictions on this property that are no longer being followed. This is an area by the Little Township storage building. I will give you the benefit of the doubt and consider that these are not being followed due to the lack of memory instead of disregard of the law. The deed restriction says no parking, no picnicking, how do you say that?
Picnicking.
That word, and no fishing. There were no fishing and no parking signs on the property, which have now disappeared. Since we live on this road, we see the problem that are now there with parking apparently being allowed. The cars are parking and turning around, and there are many vehicles pulling boats that think they are heading towards the launch. They have a very difficult time maneuvering their trailer to turn around when cars and trucks are parked in the way. Fishing by taking away the no fishing signs, we are now allowing fishermen to take up spots that many boat drivers would prefer compared to driving down the side canal to dock their boats. Who would not rather be docked directly on the river? There also used to be no fishing signs along the dock area by the bench in front of the ramp. We've watched boaters try to maneuver among fishing lines, and now many of you are winding down your service, but would be nice to see these restrictions restated in the next couple of days. It's a simple fix. And then she writes, what a nicely maintained area. We appreciate this, Marina Park, I'm sorry. What a nicely maintained area. We appreciate how nice it always looked. The benches that were constantly in use seem to have disappeared. Hopefully new ones are in order, as they much appreciated by parents and grandparents. Doug is taking care of that. But I just wanted to let you all know that she's upset, I guess. Yes, Mr. McGinnis?
It's not just us, there's more on there too, but
Yeah.
that's not for us.
At the last women's club fundraising thing, the designated use of the money was to purchase more benches.
Right,
Where they're gonna be placed has not been firmly decided.
right.
And we didn't make the total amount that y'all needed
Yeah.
either. I think what we make with it,
I'm
like
not
three or
sure. I'm
4
not sure.
thousand. It might be a
But the
2-year thing, or it might
they
be a
always
leftover money
disappear
thing.
when it starts
it
to
gets-
become winter time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Does
he
he pull
can't
them
wait.
out and?
Yeah.
Well,
Wait
then
for
the
last
problem
minute.
is people forget that really in October it's usually freezing, and this year it's just been abnormally warm, and people probably wanted to use it.
Benches, picnic tables, it all. He takes
Yeah.
them all.
Well, yeah. Hope, so
I do agree on the marina dock. I have tried docking my boat and seeing people fishing there and fishing out in there too. I don't know where their signs there. Were they removed?
I have no idea.
when they
'cause I
did the
don't
work
go
and
down
just
that way.
never
I
went
wondered
back
why
up.
they were taken down if they were there.
Right.
Maybe when they did the work, they pulled. When they did the work down there, maybe they pulled them out and never put them back. I
I don't
don't.
remember seeing no fishing signs.
Well, and then
I don't remember
Another
either.
thing is, does that mean anything, or is it just a no fishing sign?
I don't know if it's an ordinance. I mean, you can
That's
put all the
another
signs
thing.
up
Yeah.
you want.
I
Right,
don't
but
They
know.
does
don't
that mean
it
does that
doesn't
mean it's against the
anything.
law to
Mr.
fish there?
McGinnis has a-
I don't know.
Yes, Pat.
My understanding is there is an ordinance because it was in the deed restrictions.
Okay, well
The
then.
only area of
Then
that
she should
red
be calling
barn
the
area that
police
is
if
not
there was an
covered by
ordinance,
the
not
deed
us.
restrictions is the area that is concreted.
Okay, well,
So
Well,
where the
we'll
where the
dig
boat
into this and
docks
see
are.
what the ins and outs are.
I know last summer they had people tying their boats up there and then bringing in tents and portable grills and stuff and camping there for a couple days.
Oh.
Well, that's
And-
definitely,
That was totally wrong, but
Right, right.
okay. Anything else on that? And the last thing I have to say is thank you to the three of you. 3.5, I'll say.
2.5, yeah.
2.5. I really appreciate you guys, what you have done in the past, and I truly hope you'll still, if we need you, give you a call and you'll come running.
Of course.
Okay. We all heard that, right?
So then all three.
I heard Dave. I
All
didn't-
three of you are.
I already
leaving.
Yes,
then?
you
put
did.
it in
Is
an
that what it is?
email.
Okay.
She sent me an
Our terms
email, I have it in
You're
print.
all three.
Okay.
Signed in blood.
But she did say she would help with the baseball thing.
Yeah,
So.
so Alan's still debating.
You're still on the fence?
He may be sworn back in. So, any
I'm on
other
the fence.
any other public comments?
Well, we'll just pull you back in.
What will it take to push you over to our
Yes.
side?
Pat?
I also would like to thank the departing board members because being on the board at one time, I know the amount of time is much more than just being at the meetings. And it does affect your whole life. And we are gonna lose a lot of resource material with them leaving. And I hope we can pick up the phone or email them, get answers to questions.
Especially me, I don't know.
Well, you know, Bo's only a phone call away.
Yeah.
So. and
I'm definitely not gonna lose interest in the parks. That's a
Okay.
biggie for me.
Okay.
The park is my backyard, so no.
Okay.
You might consider getting hold of Jen Ander too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And making a resource of her if she'll allow it.
Okay, I've called her a couple times and she has helped me out. So.
And there are plenty of past board members who who left due to the situation at the time, and we were kind of plugging along nicely there for a while. Jim Burke,
Yep.
Oh
Called,
yeah, definitely.
called him
Pat
too.
will be back. Yes,
Yep, Pat
Pat will be back. Tom and Sally Smith are always a good resource. They have memories going back way farther than all of us. And of course, you've got that Bible that
Yeah.
Jim left.
Yep. Yep.
So you should have some good resources in there.
Okay. Any other board comments?
Board comments, yes, I do. I have a spiel here.
Okay.
I'm
Good
gonna
or
read-
good
I'm
or
go-
bad?
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it
Okay.
because it came from the heart when I wrote it. So
Okay. Am I gonna cry?
we survived. No, we survived the Bobomir Putin / Kramer regime. Worst hit we took was the cost of the truck that was supposed to be a CIP that they reneged on, so we were forced to use surplus funds that could have went for improvements to our wonderful parks. Under the circumstances, we did all right. On a personal note, it was a pleasure to serve on this commission with all of you. I want to thank the veterans, Bo, Courtney, and Dave, for getting me up to speed when I got appointed. A big thank you to Beth for stepping up to the plate when Bo was forced to resign. I would also like to thank our honorary member, Andrew, our new tech whiz. Thank you to Pat and Jane for all your comments, all your background that you've supplied for us. With regards to parks goings up, with what has been going on in the past. Thank you to the new members coming on. Pat again, Stacy, Gail, and Beth again. That leaves me one other person to thank. I wish he was here. My biggest thank you, I think, goes to the engine behind all that keeps things going for us, Doug. Thank you, Doug, for all you are and all that you do. You go above and beyond, and we are very fortunate to have you.
Very nice.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What, like when you talk, and maybe this is for the workshop, I don't know. Like coming in new, like what is the scope? Like what do the parks take care of besides just the park? The
Oh, boy.
beaches, the,
Oh God.
well,
That's a big-
seriously, I mean, yeah.
Everything.
Dog pods
everything.
up all the
Well,
lawn.
yeah.
Lawns, sidewalks,
Our
winter
purview
removal.
is the parks. This committee's purview is the parks.
Meaning the park we have and then the beaches?
DeVoe Beach, Hideaway Park, Marina Park, Cooperation Park. What am I missing? One
Green
down
Docks?
by the
Hideaway.
Green Docks.
Did you say Hideaway?
Green Docks, and then down by what's the one by in
Red
between
Barn.
there?
The Red Barn,
Yep, the Red Bar. Well, Marina Park.
yeah.
And then the one what's down by what goes under the river? Isn't that-
Hideaway. Did
No,
you
Hideaway's
you
across
mentioned-
from Hideaway's across from Green Dock.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Don't we handle one down the stairs that go down to the river by in between?
Yeah, but I don't
I
know
don't
the
know what
name
it's
of it.
called.
I don't either.
I don't
Anyway,
even know.
Where
if
the
it
new
has
We're
a-
steps are,
responsible
is that
for-
what
yeah.
you're trying? Yeah, because
Yeah, so we're responsible for all of that as far as our goings on. Now, when it comes to Doug, that's a different story because Doug, although he's our employee and he comes out of our budget, he takes care of the whole bloody township,
Yeah.
including the roads, including the cemetery, including everything else that you see.
Okay.
So,
So our budget
Why doesn't?
is included in what all Doug does extra from the parks.
Why isn't that?
That
covered
has
with
to
the
be
township
included.
budget?
Correct?
that's
Never
something
has.
that's going to be discussed.
Okay.
Because it used to be, correct me
It's-
if I'm wrong, it used to be Doug had to keep a log
This
of where
time-
he worked.
well, that was something we started before all the turmoil. Just
Right.
before all the turmoil
Oh, okay.
started, he started keeping a log of when he was on township time, when he was on parks time.
Yes.
Right.
So that we could have an honest review of where he spends his time and how that should be divvied up.
Right.
It kind of all went by the wayside when people started, resigning and all that. So there was a lot of talk back in the day about trying to pass a millage just for parks. That way we could be a separate entity. That comes up every once in a while, but it never really got a whole lot of traction. And it is a point of contention between the board and
Because I
well, between
attended.
this board and
Which should
and parks.
hopefully
it
be.
ran a little more equitably when before they took over. It seems like, but it's a very gray area with. It's not gray. It's black and white on what we are responsible for. It's gray
On
with the
his time.
resources that we have based on the fact that he's spread out all over the place.
Now, does he have a staff?
He is the one right now.
He only has one?
I think so.
Well, that's because summer has
two.
ended.
Seasonal.
It's-
Oh, but
I think
during the
it's
summer,
summer,
he,
yes.
he gets
extra.
more
Yeah,
during
that's
summer.
the guy.
Okay, I was
think
gonna
it's-
say.
I
I
think
think
there
he
are
had-
two.
There's
I think
two.
there are two.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he traditionally hires up for the summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some high school kids.
When
Yeah,
co-op
because he
is-
doesn't want him, like if he has to go do something, he doesn't want to go by himself in case something happens to him. There should be two people at all time.
Always.
Yeah.
And I had attended a DDA meeting, and they were talking about cleaning the cement, the bricks, and Doug can do it. And I raised my hand. I said, and who's paying Doug? Because it's not coming out of parks.
Well,
I
he
said, "You
only
guys-"
has so much time in a day, too.
Well, that's
so.
it. And then, he can do it at night. Well, Doug's
This is
only
hard.
one person. So they got to kind of get a
They
handle
need
on
two
that.
Dougs.
Yeah, they do.
Well, Denny's done. I think.
I think Denny's been a big help.
Yeah, and I think the two other guys that have been hired under him this year have made a significant impact.
Oh, I
good.
think his crew
Over
was
the years,
awesome
we've had
this
the
year.
same
Good.
issues as every other business
Yeah.
in the country as far as keeping and hiring
Keeping
good help.
employed. Yeah.
Right,
Um,
right.
But right now, I think he's in a decent spot, especially going into winter.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sure.
And I would just make sure that the money that's coming in for parks is being put into
Stayed into parts.
because
Yes.
there's a significant amount of money that's made off of that co-op. So
Okay.
The co-op.
Cooperation Park.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've been getting monthly statements in regards to, but they don't give me what checks go out, and that's what I want to
well,
see.
that's always been a hard thing to trace
That's-
too.
yeah.
Is where does the money from the school and where does the money from the little league go? Like
Right.
there's no. we've never been able to see that go in.
Yeah,
you
right.
know what
So
I
does
mean?
it go to the township and then the township
The
And we get
township's
the
the
federal
one
fund,
that
and then
builds us.
and then they give us our budget,
Okay,
and we
Yeah.
pay for all that stuff out of the budget.
okay,
Okay.
sorry.
No, you don't be
what?
sorry.
I just like to have as much background because I've never.
You're going
I
to be
asked a lot
immersed
of
in
dumb
background very shortly.
Yeah, I like background that because I like to know as much because, like I said, I live in the gray, so I always want to hear both sides and understand as much as I can get. So thank you.
Oh, Mr. McGinnis.
As a, probably should have said this under public comments, but just would like to remind everyone that this Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, Mr. Kramer will have his second court appearance on his 2 criminal indictments.
Thank
I
you.
will be there and I'll be posting.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Well, we have,
Aye.
She needs a motion first.
I need somebody to make the
I
motion.
make a motion to adjourn.
Alan's-
My final motion.
David,
No.
second.
You're on the fence.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Where's mine, Josie?
See, look, you have all of me.